It's September 1st, 2022, and you know what that means. We have a brand new hero of the month, so it's time for a breakdown. Let's talk about Grace and give her a grade. But first, download Gemstone Legends, a mobile RPG puzzle match game. Use the link in the description to start with free stuff, including a bonus hero. Alright, so Grace is a 5-star nature hero of the Druid class, which I actually think fits her particular special pretty well, and what she's trying to do. Then we have a passive here, mana on Taunt, so each time an enemy receives a Taunt status effect, this character's mana is increased by 10%. It's interesting because that actually conflicts with her special, which we're going to talk about in one moment. So one way to look at this passive is it's either useless because of the special, or you can look at it as sort of a hedge in case the special doesn't get to go off first. Well, then this passive is going to help the special go off faster. We also have another passive here, Resist Burn. This character has an innate resistance against burn. I like seeing this one. We've seen it on other green heroes too, which means that when you do take Grace on offense, you typically want to put her in the middle of the formation. If on the opposing side you have a hero like Gravemaker that hits 3 heroes with Flame, guaranteeing that only 2 of your heroes will ever get hit with the flames. However, Gravemaker is not used as much in this day and age as he used to be, and he's pretty much the only hero that does that 3 flame burn thing. There might be a couple others here and there, but it's not one that's as predominant as it used to be when Gravemaker ruled the roost, as it were. So, as far as stats go, we have an attack of 756. That's actually not that high compared to some of the heroes that they've been releasing recently, but it's okay. Defense at 766 and 1444 HP. The special is Malison of the Wildlands, which is fast. Deals 285% damage to the target and nearby enemies. That's actually pretty good for a fast hero. So, you know what? If this hero did nothing else, the damage is all right. It's doing a lot of damage for a 3 hero hit. The target nearby enemies cannot cast any new taunt status effects for 3 turns. So it's preventing taunt. Now, there's other heroes out there. I'm going to give Emilio as an example that stop status effects before they happen. And I think something like that's way more valuable than just stopping one buff. And there's other heroes that prevent buffs too, but this is just stopping one buff. And what I find is when you take a hero like this on offense, oftentimes it's really hard to get that to go off first before the defensive heroes go off. Oftentimes at least in this day and age, the defenses just seem to go off so fast. It's so hard to get the offensive heroes to go off before the defense. But if you can do that, you can prevent the taunt. However, if you miss it, you've got that hedge with the passive we were talking about. All right, the target and nearby enemies get negative 34% defense against special skills for 3 turns. I like seeing that one. It would be better, in my opinion, if it were just negative defense in general, so the tiles mattered too. But hey, if you play the synergy right and you put that ailment on your opponents and bring other heroes that do a lot of damage, well, you're going to deal quite a bit of damage through this one. And then lastly, there's an elemental link that gives all nature allies immunity to new fiends for 4 turns. This effect cannot be dispelled. All right, so where are you going to use Grace? On defense? No, not on defense. She is not a defensive hero. I mean, unless you're like a newer player or like lower mid-tier player, and this is maybe your first 5-star green hero, or you don't have another good green option potentially, sure. She does enough damage that you can run with her for a while on defense until you build up your roster a little bit more, but on offense, that's where Grace specializes. You're going to use her more like a toolbox hero. You might have heard me use that terminology before, but basically what that means is this is not a hero you're just taking on every offensive team that you build. You're using her in very specific circumstances, and of course, this specific circumstance is usually when there's a taunt hero on the other side of the battlefield. Can you use her without that? Of course. But again, we're talking about more like a mid-tier player where, you know, maybe she's your 3rd option when you're stacking green or something like that, 3rd or 4th, and you're taking her for the damage and not the taunt. But where I get really hung up is the taunt prevent, because I've played with these heroes that prevent like buffs and status elements before, and when you don't get the hero to go off before the opposing heroes start to go off, it's almost like a wasted part of the special, and it feels really bad. And then the hero's just not as strong along the way. You're dying just as much as you would have if you didn't bring her at all. You know what I mean? So I don't think that the prevention of this kind of effect is super strong. But when it works, it's really, really good. So that's why I call it a toolbox hero. At least they balance it out a little bit with the passive being able to increase your mana and make her go off a little bit faster. So take her for the damage. Think of the taunt prevention as a bonus. And then my favorite part of this is the defense down against special skills. You could potentially take her on events or any timed type event where you're trying to, especially in an event that has a taunt hero, but even to just get that effect where you're getting the special skill damage down, you can take her against the final bosses, get that down, and really just crush them, especially if you're using some of your battle items and things like that to speed up the mana or just deal some kind of crushing blow right at the end for speed. So yeah, on raids and wars, you're probably not using her on defense. You are using her for offense, maybe in events. I doubt it on the Titan, but you can. Like, she, again, could be your like third or fourth hero on the Titan. So as you can tell, the way I'm talking about her, this is not a hero who you're just going to like, yes, I got her, I'm going to level her up, I'm going to throw emblems all over her and limit break her or anything. I mean, depending on your roster, you might want to, but it's not a cut and dry decision with this particular hero. And there are a lot other better green heroes out there. So if you got a stacked roster, don't bother with this one. She's gonna be perfectly good, even if you just maybe halfway put the emblems on her, get her to toughen up a little bit. I wouldn't limit break her. Just take her on offense when you need her particular skill. I think she could be fun, used right, with the right synergy. She's not going to be great. So for that reason, I give her a B, which is a good grade. A B is a good grade. For some reason, when I give Bs out, sometimes people are like, why are you trashing my hero, man? But like, a B is a good grade. It's just, this is not going to break the game, if you will. She's fine. If you get her, congratulations. If you leveled her up, let us know in the comments how you're using her, what you think of her. I'm curious to know. And if you haven't already, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you know when I drop new heroes or go live. And I will catch you in the next one.